In this video we share Pope John Paul II's message on trials and tribulations for the Church. To the thousands of young people gathered in Toronto, Canada in 2002 for World Youth Day, he spoke these words: "Although I have lived through much darkness under harsh totalitarian regimes, I have seen enough evidence to be unshakably convinced that no difficulty, no fear is so great that it can completely suffocate the hope that springs eternal in the hearts of the young. Do not let that hope die. Stake your lives on it." These words help us see why St. John Paul II was a witness to hope. On this occasion and so many others, he did precisely what St. Peter asks us to do in one of the most significant verses of the New Testament, namely, to always have your answer ready for people who ask you the reason for the hope you have, 1 Peter 3:15. St. John Paul's hope was grounded in the conviction that the ultimate victory belongs to Christ, a victory he has already won on the cross. It was a hope founded on the promise of Jesus at the Last Supper, "In the world you will have tribulation, but take courage, for I have overcome the world," John 16:33. John Paul II lived through the loss of all his family, the horror of the Second World War, communism, being shot and almost killed, bowel cancer, Parkinson's disease, and many more trials. Yet he never lost hope. In an interview published towards the end of his life, he looked back on the cruelty of the Nazi and communist regimes that he lived through, describing them as ideologies of evil that emerged because of the rejection of God as creator and source determining what is good and what is evil. Yet through all of this, John Paul looked back on this period and spoke about the limits that God imposed upon evil at that time of European history. These limits were imposed by the divine good made visible by Christ with his life, heroic battle with sin, death and victorious resurrection. For John Paul II, this was the divine power that had entered history once and for all and would forever be the source of hope for those who believe in him. With Christ, he explained, evil would be overcome and hope would triumph in every place and circumstance. Memory and Identity, 2005. Here was the unshakable source of John Paul's hope as a priest, bishop, pope, and one of the great world leaders of history. Today, we need hope. The whole world needs hope. There are worrying signs in our societies that people are losing hope. They are numbing themselves with drugs, falling into despair, and with alarming frequency, dying through suicide. We are tempted to lose hope when confronted with the many challenges we face today, the scourge of demonic racism and a worldwide economic recession caused by a pandemic we cannot yet address medically. So then, what can we hope for? What may be the reason for our hope? The same as it was for St. John Paul II, that Christ has already overcome all things and is still present and active in the world, even through all the passions, pandemics, and social tensions of this age. His love will overcome all evil, darkness, and despair. This is what John Paul witnessed to all his life as a Christian of Easter hope. Thank you for supporting my channel. May God bless you and keep you. Our Lady, Queen of Peace, pray for us.